Beauties with Jesse Pierce and Kirsten Kroll. Two hockey minds trapped in bodies that can't skate. They may have never laced them up, but they'll break it all down with sharp takes and plenty of laughs. This is Hockey Talk, the Beauties way.
Hello, good morning, happy Monday. Jesse Pierce, Kirsten Kroll. Tons of hockey to talk about, obviously. Olympics, you've got high school hockey sections going on. Girls State Tournament starts this week. But the biggest hockey news, Kirsten, that I would like to address, there's two components that I would like to start this week's episode off with. The first one being Matthew Tkachuk giving us the greatest chirp we have all probably ever heard to Leon Draisaitl in yesterday's U.S. versus Germany preliminary, where he said, "Always the bridesmaid, eh, Leon? Always the bridesmaid, never the bride." Iconic.
It's poetic. You can't, I think, hit a player harder than that one. That one is so good just in general, but it hits so much deeper considering Matthew Tkachuk was the one to make Leon in the Florida Panthers.
Yes.
To make Leon and the Edmonton Oilers the bridesmaid, second best each time.
The best thing too is before it went viral and made its rounds, I'd heard it live because I was watching the game, but I only caught the "always the bridesmaid, never the bride," eh? And I was like, that's got to be to Leon Draisaitl. That's got to be. Please tell me it's to Leon Draisaitl. And sure enough, once the internet picked up on it, and we in fact discovered that was the case, right? Because it even goes back. I realized too. It goes back to the Calgary-Edmonton rivalry as well, right? They didn't like each other from there. I'm sure that kind of stems, but it just, I think it can hit Leon in so many factors too. He's just always the bridesmaid to McDavid's bride as well, even.
Yeah, that I thought of that as well too. Right there underneath Con, our personal good friend
of the pod.
But man, that was just so good. I also feel like Leon Draisaitl is a man I would not want to piss off. But also I feel Matthew Tkachuk's not a man I'd want to piss off either. But also I think maybe even a little bit more Leon because there's just something about German men.
It's a very there's a very brooding aspect of him.
Exactly.
The follow-up, and I don't know if you saw this, and I'll pull up the tweet when we clip this out. But the follow-up was Matthew Porter, who was on the ground in the Olympics. I'm not sure his affiliation, so I apologize. But Matthew Porter tweeted out he had asked Quinn Hughes, Minnesota Wild's own Quinn Hughes, about the interaction that Matthew Tkachuk had. It was a pretty good chirp. Quinn not only responded with, "Yep, that he's good at that, blah, blah, blah," but it was the follow-up, Kirsten, where Quinn Hughes acknowledged all of the social media memes and viral situations that he has of himself where he sees ghosts. And Quinn Hughes goes, "Yeah, well, apparently I'm always seeing ghosts, so I've got my own stuff to worry about there." And I love it. We're starting to see a little bit of Quinn's personality, I think, more and more in the past month.
I think it's because he's not depressed in Minnesota. I think he's genuinely happy here. I really think that's what it is. Also, even more than his comment, it was his outfit. It was the sunglasses. It was everything. It was the whole look. And I don't say it look as in LOOK. It's LEWK.
Look. That's fair. Do you think the sunglasses are to ward off the ghost or just so people don't see
Maybe,
him
but the whole ghost thing confuses me because I'm I thought Sam Darnold, I know that it's a whole social media thing with Quinn Hughes seeing ghosts because of how he looks when he's on the bench and how he's just so zoned out. But I thought Sam Darnold was the one that was first seeing ghosts out there and made the comment originally. Then it transferred to Quinn Hughes. I don't know. I'm confused about the whole origin story with that.
What I can deduce is Sam Darnold said it. I don't know. I was seeing ghosts out there, and as far as where he was throwing the ball and misplacing the ball back early on in his career. Quinn Hughes, I don't think has ever said anything that would suggest it, but I think it's just the dead look on his face and kind of it almost because it does look like there's some fear, if not just zoning out. So I think people have just taken that look, LOOK, and God.
He's not serving, he's just giving.
It's what
when you're serving, it's LEWK. When you're just giving, it's LOOK.
I know. So I love that he's acknowledged that for everybody. That's very heavy, because I know that's a large part of hockey Twitter right now is Quinn Hughes and the girlies recognizing how odd he is. The one thing I haven't been able to figure out is he still climbing over the boards awkwardly with the Olympic squad? There's not enough time where you see the guys go to the bench for us to really get a capture moment of it. But I need to know because, or is he too embarrassed to do it in front of these guys? Or is he still doing it?
I don't know.
Right?
That's a good question. Just also too, like, I kind of get it because Quinn Hughes does things that make you be like, oh, like, this is different. Like, let's talk about it. Like, why are you doing this? Or why are you making these facial expressions? But I will say this, and it extends even to just all of the Hughes brothers. I do not understand the craze. Like, I understand it hockey skill wise, but it's all of the extracurriculars with the buzz and like the conversation surrounding. I just don't get.
I think it's partially because Jack's a guy that just says what he says, right? He says whatever he's on his mind. Quinn seems to be very more deliberate in the way he works. And then Luke is the third brother. So it's always just kind of fun to get that mix. I think it also stems from Jack Hughes is organically an attractive kid, I think is where a lot of that also came. Like, I think a lot of people see that.
I don't see
Far
it.
too young for me to, but I think objectively, you're like, yeah, he's a good looking dude. Quinn has good hair. I don't know that he's as, but again, Jack Hughes looks like he could be in a boy band, frankly.
That's true.
Right?
And this is getting too personal now. He's too pretty boy for me. I like the more rugged.
Yes.
Like give me more of the Tom Wilsons, the Ryan O'Reillys. Like that's for me.
Yeah.
That's my style.
Exactly. So I think that's also where a lot of the fascination grew from, which is fine. Everybody finds their way to hockey one way or another, and we love it. Now that you're here, you're enjoying the game.
True.
And there's tons of it to enjoy. We're going to talk about men's Olympic team in a little bit, but I want to start with the women's team, Kirsten. They are moving on, as we all expected, to the semifinals today against Sweden. Sweden, a huge upset over the Czech Republic, 2-0. But the U.S. women have been top to bottom the queens of this tournament, right? The Kings even. They have just been outscoring every opponent. They had 4 shutout games in their 5 play. They've only allowed 1 goal. They played Canada, downed them pretty easily. They've got Thursday's gold medal game on the line. I'm going to be shocked, absolutely shocked, if the U.S. doesn't just cruise on through as they've done throughout this entire tournament so far.
Yeah, I would be surprised too. Just absolute domination. It's fun to see and not really a surprise.
No, I mean, I think the biggest surprise comes to the Canada, and US, right? Like you're seeing the US as of late, not just in the Olympic Games, but even in the rivalry series or in World Championships, other iterations of international competition. The US is not getting pushed down. And naturally Canada was without, Marie Pouliot, Marie Pouliot. I'm really bad at saying things, so I don't want to say it wrong. MPP.
I just would like to interject really quick because I know there's been comments. Jesse's really bad at pronouncing pretty much everything.
Czechia has been one that I can't, and
Czechia.
Czechia. I say Czechia for some reason, and then
Czechia and Latvia.
You know how many times I practice this on the regular Latvia, and my brain still will not switch it. It'll still say Lativa, and I don't know why. Like I literally run. I really run
that one threw me for a loop, honestly.
I know.
We all have our things. Yours is just pronunciation. You're not good with them.
I will stare at it. I will repeat, and then I'll go and like record. And I'm like, nope, didn't do it again. And at one point, I'm just like, you know what? It's fine. I can write it. I will never misspell a word. I really, really struggle with it. So my apologies. It's not any disrespect to a player or a country or anything like that. I'm just really, really bad as much as I'm trying. Like I just sometimes get like marble mouth or something. I don't know what happens to me. My brain.
I think maybe I've dropped the ball on holding you accountable, being like, no.
What's funny is because I was going to bring it up once because I have to say Latvia again.
There you go. Good job.
Do you know how hard I have to like in my head, like Latvia, which again, it's spelled Latvia. There should be no I in between the T and the V, but my brain is like, nope, there is. You're going to screw this up. In Czechia, I'm not as harsh on the Czech, which makes sense because it was formerly Czechoslovakia, Czech Republic, right? Like that's all from the iteration. So Czechia, not Czechia. It's all the CHs. Whatever. We're working on it. We are. But MPP for Team Canada, Hockey Canada, missed their last matchup. So, I mean, the obvious assumption is it's going to be those two. Now, Sweden, yes, they have this upset. So they're coming out this emotional win. There's all this momentum, and they have some really good players. but they weren't even expected to be here where they are right now. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle that. The U.S. and Sweden matchup actually is much closer than most people would assume based on some of the stats. And the U.S. power play has been pretty grim as of late. So I think that's the one area where they lack. But other than that, U.S. should cruise. Their puck drops here or just did drop a little bit ago. So it's underway as we record. But Canada, U.S. gold medal, and it's going to be the U.S. for gold, right?
Yeah. If there's one thing I can confidently say, it's I think the women will be wearing the gold.
I think so too.
Necks.
And you're getting to see some really cool. The thing I've loved about this tournament in particular is you're seeing that passing the torch. You still have Hillary Knight, you still have Kelly Panic, you still have Lee Steckline, right? The names that have been synonymous, Kendall Coyne, Schofield, all of those players have been around for so many Olympics and so much U.S. women's hockey success. But now you're seeing Layla Edwards, Caroline Harvey, Abby Murphy is getting her international shining. Taylor Heisey, this is her first Olympics after being one of the last go around. So you're seeing that passing the torch and how good they're all complementing each other, which I think has been tremendous to see.
Fun. It's been so much fun. And yeah, you're right. Like chills thinking about it, like passing of the torch. I don't know, like, and sorry, I'm pivoting so hard here. And I acknowledge, and I'm so sorry to anyone listening, like, in the words of Tate McRae, you guys know I'm USA down, but I keep having to talk about the Canadian men's team. It's like similar to like you see Sidney Crosby, like not the grandfather, that's really aging him. The father period of Team Canada, the passing of the torch to like young Macklin who idolized Sidney Crosby growing up.
So, you see how excited they were for him in the penalty shot too? Like McDavid and Crosby were like watching with just pure joy, or maybe it was McKinnon, I'm not sure, but it was for sure.
I don't know why I'm so emotional right now, but that makes me want to cry. Like I'm like literally getting tears in my eyes right now. Like I'm just it's so happy. Like it's exciting. I don't know. Yes, I'm USA down, but Team Canada is really fun right now, and I'm really sorry, guys.
Let's talk about it. You guys know I made the kind of a bold statement that I didn't think the US men's team would medal in the tournament just because there's something holding me back. I'm nervous. We did a live show last week with Judd's Hockey Show and Kirsten called it out. Like I'm like, I get sweaty thinking about it because I should have confidence in this team. Like I don't know where the lack of confidence comes from, but maybe it comes from not seeing complete domination. I thought their best game in the 3 preliminaries was against Germany. Beyond that, they trailed to Denmark, right? And they struggled against Latvia. 2 for 2.
Hey.
Yay, we're growing. They get the bye. They win Group C. They were the only undefeated team along with Canada. 16 goals, 4 or 5 goals allowed in that span. They will play the winner of Sweden and Latvia from the quarterfinals. They have 122 shots on goal, Kirsten, through the prelims. Sweden leads the entire tournament with 146 shots. Finland had 126, Canada 121, and the U.S. penalty kill was phenomenal, 9 for 9 throughout the tournament. Slovakia and Finland also get byes. Slovakia will play the winner of Germany and France. Finland, winner of Switzerland and Italy, and then Canada, winner of Czechia, Denmark.
I'm getting tears in my eyes again. I'm proud of all of these proper pronunciations.
We're doing it so well. But you're right. I think my problem is I watched Canada and they're so freaking good. It's just wave after wave after wave. Like you get to put McKinnon, McDavid, and Celebrini on a line together and how dominant they are. And to see this 19-year-old play with these men, like it's incredible that there was ever a possibility he wouldn't make this team, right? Like I think the regular season has shown, but you've met Macklin Celebrini a number of times as a Hobie Baker winner too. You know what a good kid he is. You know how hard he works. Are you surprised at all that he's transitioned so easily and become this? I mean, he is that next tier superstar. He is a superstar if it weren't for just being 19 years old in his first year. There's no doubt that he is that guy.
Yeah. I mean, so I had familiarity with Macklin just having worked in the USHL and hearing all of the craze about him before he even went to Boston to go play college hockey. So with the Chicago Steel, I kind of knew a little bit about his game and just how good he was and how, I mean, for 2-3 years in advance, they were like, yeah, he's going to be in his draft year. He's going to be first overall pick. So I was like, okay, yeah, guy to have on the radar, noted. And then just continuing to see him exceed all expectations. I think he has people knew he was going to be good when he got to the NHL, But I think this early, how seamless it's been for him, how good he's been, I think has blown a lot of people away. Like all of the buzz, as you know, Connor Bedard, the next Connor McDavid, you didn't hear everyone be like, I don't know. Like for me, I was like, but what about Macklin Celebrini? Like I had said even before this season, not to give myself flowers, but I was like, Macklin's going to be better than Bedard.
Yeah.
And now this season, it's all like Macklin this, Macklin that. Like Bedard didn't even, no knock to him, but he didn't even make Team Canada for the Olympics. Like, again, this isn't supposed to be like me just ripping apart Bedard, but
Kind of feels like it's
God,
a Bedard
Macklin
Day
is
podcast
so
now.
good. So good.
So, I mean, he is behind McDavid with 6 points in this tournament so far. 4 goals, 2 assists. McDavid, 9 points, 2 goals, 7 assists. Canada, meanwhile, while the U.S. went 16-5 in scoring, Canada 20-3 outscoring their opponents. Again, that's what worries me. Like, you're right. I probably should recognize that the U.S. is very much second best in this based on the scoring, based on that. I think for me, something ironically enough, Kirsten, we've seen a lot with the Minnesota Wild, the US just slow to start. Like Germany was the only game where they were ready to go, where they scored first. They jumped out to a 2-0 lead and they kind of held on to that. The first 2 games, and maybe that's because you're still feeling it out, right? And that's what the preliminary games are for, is to kind of figure things out, switch some lines up. I mean, you've got Jack Hughes on that 4th line. You're trying to figure out the top line. I think the Tkachuk brothers have been really good together. Austin Matthews finally has showed up. But those first 2 games were just very underwhelming. Like I was like, you're letting those teams hang around that you shouldn't let hang around. Like you're watching Canada drop 9 on Italy, 10 or 11 on Italy, another 10 on France. Like they don't care. They got no respect for your team. They're not going to let you hang around. They're just going to do what they do and just keep coming. And they don't even have good goaltending. I mean, Jordan Binnington's fine, but they don't have the best goaltending. So I think that's again where my concern for the US is. I'm like, you're not Canada. You're not, which is fine. That shouldn't put yourself aside. My question then too, Kirsten, last week we were very much like, oh, Sweden. We love Sweden. We're loving Sweden. And it's tough because now Sweden is going to be the likely opponent in that quarterfinals for the US. However, Sweden's been also a little unimpressive for a team that's made up of full NHL stock, namely because our dear sweet boy, Philip Gustafson, not having a great Olympic Games between the pipes.
Yeah, it's not what you want to see. For me, being Team USA down, it's great. For me, being a Minnesota Wild fan, I'm starting to get concerned.
Gus has allowed 5 goals on 45 shots, a 2.5 goals against average, 0.889 save percentage, 9th in the games overall. Samuel Halava, that's how we say that one, has allowed 6 goals on 91 shots in the tournament and is ranked like top 6 ahead of Gus, who again, Halava, a Minnesota Wild prospect down in the American Hockey League. Yeah, Gus just hasn't looked solid, right? And Team Sweden, I think, you're missing a Jonas Brodin, right? You're missing some of those guys on the back end, certainly. But Sweden, another team that you're like, wow, I kind of expected them to run through. You knew it would be a good game against Finland. It certainly was. But Gus, I think, has kind of worn some of the blame in some of Sweden's struggles so far.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I don't know. You hate to see it for Gus because you know what he's capable of, and you know, especially this season, the game that he's played. So it's kind of like, why?
Yeah.
Why? Like, yes, you're still missing, like you mentioned, Jonas Brodin, but I don't know, man. I don't
have a good enough, right? You have a good enough team, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go to Jacob Markstrom against Latvia. Frankly, like I think Wallstead, it's been very evident he's that third goalie there. Speaking of goalies, too, switching gears back because this is how my brain works. Why is Jake Ottinger the third goaltender on Team USA?
I don't know.
I would baffled.
I would put Swayman as the third goaltender.
And
it doesn't make. I don't know.
Terrible in that game against Denmark. Like he was not good. Like, and it came into question, I think, at first when it was Swayman backing up Hellebuck in game 1. And then game 2, you see Swayman get, because it's a back-to-back. And then you do see Ottinger back up Helle yesterday against Germany. But I'm like, what happened that we made this? And somebody has commented, because I've been not perturbed, but curious about this. Like, why has the rotation gone that way? And they said that Swayman's numbers are better throughout the regular season than Ottinger's, which maybe is the case, but also I'm like, I don't know. After watching Swayman in that game, I would have been like, nope, you are not seeing another minute of the ice. That was
Well,
not
I
great.
mean, because to be fair, it's not like it's a series. It's you get one game, really.
Yeah.
Like once you get to the medal rounds, you get one game to win, and if you lose, like that's it. There's
Yeah.
not really room for there isn't room for error.
Well, and
So
you
no, I would say I've seen enough Ottinger, Hellebuck, and Ottinger.
And I think it'll be Helly the entire way for as long as the run goes for Team USA, right? And I think that's probably the right decision because, again, the defense is so good there too for Team USA. I think that's one area that I've never been as concerned about. I think Brock Faber, speaking of the defense, talk about our Minnesota Wild guys, Brock Faber has had a phenomenal tournament. I am loving it. Like he's carrying that confidence that he found before the break into the Olympic Games. It's just going to keep on cruising right through when they return to, I think.
I love that for Brock, especially too because of the start he had to the year in the NHL. It took him a minute to find his groove, but once he finds his confidence, like I love that for him.
He's just not afraid to take the shot. I mean, there was one kind of mishap, actually, him and Boldy in that game one against Latvia, where it led to, I think, one of the tying goals, where it was just a completely misplayed and misdirected, whatever. But Brock Faber, 1 goal, 1 assist, +3 throughout the games. Matt Boldy, I think he's looked really good since that mishap. He's got 1 goal. Quinn Hughes, naturally, 4 assists and is +4 on the tournament. So the Team USA guys are looking pretty good. The Swedish guys, as we had mentioned, that team's gotten a little shaky. Joel Eriksson has just 1 goal throughout the tournament. Philip Gustafsson gave his stats. Marcus Johansson has only played in 1 game. Now, no surprise there. He was that reserve player, so naturally he wasn't exactly next guy up on the totem pole, but he got 1 game in, didn't really do anything of note. Nico Sturm is a -2 in the 3 games he played for Germany, and Halava has started all 3 games. For Slovakia, allowed 6 goals on 91 shots, and only Damian Clara for Italy has faced more shots with 95. Halava's .93 for save percentage and a 3 goals against. Slovakia is a team that's kind of surprising. It has been surprising, right? Like they've been a ton of fun to watch. They obviously started the tournament with their upset over Finland. Hell of a tournament for Slovakia, who again gets that bye too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. A little bit of a peskier team that has been just like popping up. And I love that. I love when there is like a little, I don't know, maybe it's not fair to say underdog, but underdog that pops up and enters into the chat. A new bombshell, aka Slovakia, has entered the villa.
Well, exactly. It has entered the villa. Speaking of the villa and the village, we, obviously you make note that Canada's staying in a hotel, a more posh place away from the village just to not be probably distracted. I did see that, who was it? Frank Cervelli had tweeted out how the Olympic team, according to, I don't know if it was Sullivan or one of the coaches, is having a hard time sleeping because their next quarterfinal game, again, is a 9:10 start time, local time. So all 3 of their prelim games were at that time. They're not getting back to their village until like 1:15. I imagine there's probably some chaos. You're bunking again. Do you think that's factoring into why the U.S. has performed? Again, they've won. I'm not trying to take anything away, and they come alive in that 3rd period, so that's great. But do you think that's going to be a role player as they move through the tournament?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be as big of one as we think it would be.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do love that they're taking advantage of the experience, whereas Canada is more isolated. I love that that's like, no, like we're going to embody everything that this tournament is. And I love that they're giving themselves that because like it is a little bit too like you're not a robot, like you're a human. I mean, yes, it's a business trip. You've got work to do, but like have a little fun in the midst of it all as well. Whereas like Team Canada, but also the personalities on Team Canada, they seem very like strictly business only, like on and off the ice. Like,
are you thinking of Nathan
when I found out Connor McDavid drank beer when there was that one random photo of him like before the playoffs, just putting like a Coors Light case in his trunk, I was like, what? Like that was shocking to me. Whereas like the Tkachuk brothers, like especially Matthew, like they give off more like party. I don't know. I feel like with USA, it's more ingrained in their lifestyle, so I'm not really worried.
America. Well, it's Nathan McKinnon. Like, yeah, it does feel much more structured for Canada, which Judd and I talked about this. Remember, don't forget to check out Judd's hockey show too. Whereas the boys seem to be much more on the Team Canada side, right? Judd was like, no, I love it. They're there to win. You're there for a medal. You're not there for fun. You're not there. You can find your fun when you get there early. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't know. I just think that's just kind of part of it too. Like, I think you've got the blue collared fun boys from America coming through versus the serious Canadians. And like, I don't know. I'd rather be on the American side of that.
The women's team's been in the village this whole time and look at their fine. Like, I don't think it's that big of a factor. Like, I don't know, even Nathan McKinnon, like you had him in an interview mentioning how he can always sleep before games, but like he can't even sleep before. They're just nervous. It's different. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you're maybe not getting sleep one way or the other for very different reasons. I don't know.
It's
Not
gotta
saying
be
that Team USA is not sleeping. I don't know. It's getting off on a tangent, but whatever.
How do you yeah, like I all for the Olympic Village. I want to meet Snoop Dogg. I love this is a complete tangent though. I brought this up to Mike the other day. I love how Snoop Dogg has like transcended his career and now he's just like he's doing all this cool stuff now. Like how cool for the 60, he's probably in his 60, 50, late 50s maybe at least bare minimum if not older. Like doing all this cool shit for the Olympics now. Like he's getting to try events. He's just hanging out in the village, being the US spokesman.
Everything about Snoop Dogg has shocked me to my core. Like being tight with Martha Stewart, cookbooks left and right, like becoming the face of NBC for Olympic coverage, which he's done for years now. It all surprises me. I love it. I'm eating all of it up. Like it's incredible. But it's just like, where did this come from?
I'm so for
when
it.
did we make Snoop Dogg the face of the United States? I don't know.
It's
I
just
don't know. I love it though.
I'm so here for it. You know, before we get into even a little bit of high school and whatnot, how do you think the US will fare against Sweden or Latvia? Again, it's leaning towards Sweden. Do you think that's a team that they can beat? Because it's still a very good team. It's a tough draw considering, you know, if you had placed first instead, you needed to score 10 goals against Germany in order to upend Canada for that first place spot in the seeding. But do you think Sweden or Latvia is favorable for the US?
I mean, it's a tournament and the stakes are high. Anything could happen. You never know. I think it's the US's game to lose for sure. And it's not to discredit Sweden or Latvia. I really think at the end of all of this, it's going to come down to Canada, US, which terrifies me. Because
It's so good, but also so good. Like you'll see a new level.
And this isn't fair for me to say out loud, but I'm going to say it out loud anyways. And it's less to do with the situation that just happened as well. So I'm a little hesitant to say anything because I also don't think the situation that just happened was purposeful. I think it was just kind of like a little bit of a freak accident. But I'm scared for our players to go up against Tom Wilson. And the incident I am referring to was, I believe it was, he had a hit on Kevin Fiala when Canada was playing Switzerland. And Kevin Fiala, unfortunately, we know what happened, broke his lower leg and had to have season-ending surgery. So he's done for the Olympics. He's out for the rest of the NHL season as well, which is huge bummer for Kings fans. So I don't know. And it's not fair to just say, watch out for Tom Wilson, dirty player. I'm not trying to say that at all. I know he plays a hard style of hockey and he's hard to play up against. So our guys going up against Tom Wilson terrifies me.
Yeah. Second time Fiala's broken his leg.
Yeah, different part though. Like, thank God it wasn't
a different part, right? Like, okay, the femur. It wasn't. I was like, I didn't know which part of his leg it was from that playoffs, but yes, that's right.
It was his femur. So thank God it wasn't that again. But I think it's still fairly serious, just maybe not as serious. But I'm not a doctor. Don't take medical advice from me.
Definitely don't. Yeah, I think you can't start late in any of these games moving forward, no matter what it looks like. You need to start from the drop of the puck. And again, I think I'm loving that Austin Matthews has finally kind of figured it out. He seemed very just despondent almost out there every now and then. I was like, I don't love this. I think Matt Boldy's played really well. Again, I think the Tkachuk boys shockingly have fit really well into this Olympic style. I was a little worried because they're a little crazy. They're a little chaotic out there. I think they've done a really nice job. I'm liking that line together. Jake Gensel, I'd like to see just a little bit more because he has that speed. He has that scoring ability. Like ultimately you need to get there, get to the net. If it is Jacob Markstrom, light him up, baby. Light him up. If it's Sweden and Jacob Markstrom, light him up. If it's Gus, probably also light it up. But
Also, I'm sorry, I'm going to go on another little. I'm taking the scenic route here with this, but I would be amiss to not mention this comment. But it was brought to my attention via Twitter, aka X, whatever. I'm always going to call it Twitter, so don't call me out for that. It's always Twitter to me. But somebody mentioning that announcers were calling the Tkachuk brothers Ketchup, like pronouncing their last name Ketchup. And I remembered then Connor McDavid is scared of ketchup. So it just beautiful. I would be amiss to not mention that. It's part of the Connor McDavid lore that I absolutely love, that he just hates and is borderline afraid of ketchup. I forget where I heard that from, but it's a thing.
It was like he's not a condiment person in particular with ketchup. He's like despises it. And like his wife, I think, does like she has to sneak it in order to like have it or something. She joked or whatever.
Like part of my Connor McDavid lore that I just love. And it's why I love Connor McDavid so much. His hatred of ketchup, fear of ketchup, love of Nickelback. Like it's just all beautiful. Okay, I just, I needed to say that. That's all.
I think that's I love that connection. If it's US Canada for gold, maybe that's the leg up as well.
Watch out for the Ketchup Brothers.
Oh, they are just deranged, but in a great, funny way. I did see there was one other piece, speaking of the Tkachuks, where it's Brady Tkachuk taking a selfie with the U.S. women's Olympic team. And somebody said, oh, no, it looks like their thumb got in the photo of the picture. And because people say Brady looks like a thumb.
That's really unfortunate.
It was really bad. I was like, internet remains undefeated in some very...
I love the internet. I'm chronically online and I have no regrets about it. Like, I love my life. I love the things I find out online.
It's something. It's a whole nother place. Very, very entertaining. Before we get into more high school entertaining hockey, I want to give a shout out to my friends at North American Banking Company. You guys recently switched banks to North American Banking Company. Greatest decision I have ever made. No hassle. They have been fantastic to work with. They offer the best of both worlds with online and mobile banking tools. Everything you'd expect from a national bank. And when I want to talk to a real person, I can visit any of their 6 Twin Cities locations. Switching banks might seem like a hassle, but North American Banking Company has made it so easy. Go to nabankco.com. That's nabankco.com to learn more, or visit a location near you. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Kirsten, how about our friends over at Soda Stick too? They got things cooking all the time.
They always got things cooking. They've got the best designs. They know how to do it right over there. And speaking of Soda Stick reminds me, I need to also just go on and spend a little bit of money, because that's what I like to do, to update some of my team apparel. So whether you guys want to personalize for your own team or rep any of the big 4 here in Minnesota, this locally owned shop offers it all. Plus, you can shop online or in person at the Hockey Lodge or Pure Hockey. And bonus for all of our listeners here, if you use code Bardown Beauties at checkout, you get 15% off. So it doesn't get better than that.
We love our buds. I think they're coming out with some tourney gear as it is state tournament time. The girls up first at Grand Casino Arena starting this week, Wednesday, quarterfinals. Your Class A, number 1 War Road versus number 8 Laverne at 11 a.m. on Wednesday. Number 4 Dodge County versus number 5 Proctor Hermantown. Then number 2 Breck versus number 7 St. Cloud. Number 3 Blake versus number 6 Mankato East. Your 2-way tournament then starts on Thursday. Number 1 Hill Murray, the defending champs, against number 8 Lakeville North. You got number 4 Edina versus number 5 Bemidji. Number 2 Centennial Spring Lake Park versus number 7 Farmington. And number 3 Holy Family versus number 6 Andover, rounding out those quarters. Going to be a good time. I love state tournament time. I really do.
It's a lot of fun. And I claim Dodge County in this tournament because Dodge County, very, very close to Rochester. Very good program down there.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, if there's no Rochester teams in the mix, Dodge County is next up for me, baby.
We love that. And it's funny because I love relating this to when I used to work on the Minnesota youth state tournament program. You'd always see kind of the same names, and Dodge County for the girls was in there every year, winning year after year. So it starts at the grassroots level. You guys, obviously, we love to see it. The boys section finals are getting underway, and I do believe John Marshall. What are you now? Because it's combined, right? It's Century and John Marshall.
Century John Marshall. So to give a little bit of a history lesson for you, maybe not a history lesson. I'm not that well versed, but to give you guys just a little lesson or fun fact for the day, there are 4 high schools in Rochester, Minnesota. I find myself saying this to people a lot. There's 4 high schools, but one is private. That's Leeward. So we count it, but we don't really count it. The main focus is the 3 public high schools. John Marshall, which is my where I went.
Yes.
John Marshall, Mayo, and Century. I think hockey had dropped in enrollment, so John Marshall and Century combined. So it's Rochester, Century, John Marshall, Panthers.
Okay. All right.
So yeah. So go Rochester, JM, Century. That's who I pull for them.
Hey, we love it. Yeah, all the section. I'm not going to go through all of the sections. Obviously, Matamita is in their section. They're ranked number 1 in their 4A section, which am I lagging? Am I jerky? I feel like I jerked
A little
out.
bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's because I was trying to look at the sections on a website that has 100 pop-up ads, and that was a problem. So I do know that Matamita, but I want to give a shout out. You guys know International Falls is my second home. My mom lives up there. My family's up there. International Falls boys hockey still holds the record for most state tournament titles, which is insane because they did this run back in like the 70s and they still remain very, very dominant. They have resurged back into prominence. They've only lost like 1 game. They're absolutely destroying opponents. And I just think it would be so cool. Now they do have Hibbing Chisholm to get through in their section. Hibbing Chisholm ranked number 1 in that section. But I would love to see International Falls just make their way back down there. I'd be so insufferable if it was the Falls and Matamita playing in this tournament. Now, it would also be very difficult because then I'd have to like pick one or the other if they're both in A, but I just think that would be really, really fun.
For my sake, I'm hoping that's not the case.
Imagine if you get U.S. in the gold medal this weekend. The Falls are dominating, Matamita is dominating in sections, like all the things. Luckily, Gopher hockey sucks, so
I'll be in Florida.
So, that's true. You'll be enjoying life down there.
God, I need it so bad.
It's gonna be so good for you. I'm so happy. I'm solo again, but it's fine. We're surviving. We're living. So that's getting underway. As always, we're gonna end this week's episode. Oh, well, we have 2 things. Did you prepare trivia as I requested?
I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
I don't know how good they are, but I have some questions.
It's kind of fun. I was like, let's shoot the shit a little bit. Let's have some
It's not
fun.
multiple choice. It's give me an answer though.
Okay, that's good. That's all right. Their answer. Okay, you start. So I had Kirsten. I tasked us with like, let's come up with 2 or 3 trivia questions. I kept mine very Olympic hockey. Did you stick in the hockey range or no?
Yes, it's all hockey.
Love it. Okay, you can lay the first one on me.
Which goaltender backstopped Team USA to a silver medal at the 2002 Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City, posting a shutout against Russia in the semifinals?
2002 against Russia in the semifinals. I'm
gonna plug in my computer while you think of this because
I am going to think of this. And look, I'm keeping my hands where you can see them, so I'm not Googling this at all. Ryan Miller would have been too young. I just got to think of American goalies because there weren't very many good American goalies back in the day. Because Ryan Miller still played in.
I love the mental gymnastics.
Do you like that? Yeah, I like that you kept it American because it'll help me. Van Beesbrook is too young. Give me a hint. What's a team that he played for? What's an NHL team?
I do not have that, but they may or may not be involved in. This might give it away now. They might be involved in. I'm trying to think of how to word this without giving it away. An award that's given out.
Mike Richter.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was no other way I could word that once I started going there.
No.
I was like,
here's my biggest problem with these dates. 2002 to me doesn't seem very long ago, but it really was. Like, it was a very, very long time ago. So Mike Richter, New York Rangers. Okay. That was a good one. I liked that one. I'm going to go with a women's question, Kirsten. And this is kind of, all right. So yeah, no, I was going to do true or false, but I switched it up. Natalie Darwitz holds the USA hockey record for most points in a tournament with how many points? She's technically tied with Jenny Potter for this, but most points in one Olympic tournament.
I don't know. I'm scared because I'm either going to be way over. I don't know.
It's not a super high number.
I'm gonna take a ballpark here and say 12.
So close. 11 points. 4 goals. Or no, yeah, 4 goals, 7 assists. She set that in 2010 again. She also holds the record for most points in a game with 5 versus Russia, 2 goals and 3 assists, and most goals in a tournament with 7 goals. She did that in 2002. So that's mine. What's your next trivia?
I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. This is the last one.
Okay.
The 1998 Winter Olympics in Nagano marked the first time NHL players were allowed to participate. What was Team USA's final tournament finish in men's hockey that year?
Not good, I don't think. I want to say 7th or 8th.
6th.
6th? Oh, I was rough. Okay. Yeah. Like they have not had very good finishes in a lot of these tournaments, right? Like, which is wild. They've won 8 silver medals technically, but that was in 1920, 1924, 1932, 1956, 1972, 2002, and 2010. But generally, the men's squad did not fare very well. Trying to think of. All right, how many Olympic Games did Minnesota Wild general manager Bill Guerin compete in?
Wait, say that again one more time.
How many times was he on the Olympic team? Sorry, not necessarily the amount of games did he play, but how many times was he named to Team USA for the Olympics?
Just the Olympics, not other tournaments.
Yes, just the Olympics.
None.
No. 3.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Damn, Billy.
Billy did pretty
I
good.
thought it was a trick question. Like, I knew he was a pivotal part of that world championship team.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Fair. That's fair. In the World Cup, like he was a big part of the World Cup
team. So
right?
Those I knew of. I guess I wasn't familiar with his Olympic experience, but not to discredit him, I knew he was a major part of USA teams.
Yeah. No, that's fair. He was on the 98 squad, the 2002 squad, and the 2006 squad. Again, that 2002 squad, pretty good. 98, kind of forgotten. I'm curious if I think you would have gotten this, and I felt like it was too easy, but I do want to ask one more. True or false? The men have only won gold once.
True. No?
False. Yeah. So much is always made about that 1980 team that so many people, and actually I have a book called The Forgotten Miracle because that's what the 1960 team is. They won gold in 1960. A lot of people forgot about that. They do make it out because I believe that was the team that Herb Brooks was cut from. That they missed out on gold again. A small part.
Yes. No, you're so okay. Now I should have known that.
That's okay.
I knew he got cut.
Yeah. But a lot of people forget a lot because you hear only about the 80 squad. So you just assume that that's the only team that's ever won gold in USA hockey history. But nope, the 1960 squad.
To be fair, I wasn't alive for either.
No, I mean, neither was I. Let's hold up there. All right. I wasn't alive for either of those. And then 2 final buy or sell ideas, Kirsten. Samuel Halava is now the Minnesota Wild goalie to trade, not Jesper Valstead. Buy or sell?
Sell. I don't think we have a big enough sample size. And if you look at his non-Olympic, I think people are intrigued. I don't think there's enough yet to be like, yes.
Okay. I think if you're given the 3 goalies, if we're going to force a goalie trade, sure, consider it. Like, why not? Because he ain't done nothing for me yet, right? Like
But what would the return be? What could we get?
Right. Leads me to my
not as lucrative as a Jesper.
100%. Very true. Like, is it worth it? Right? Like, is the lemon worth the squeeze? Probably not. I mean, he's the hot name. He's a hot commodity. Pair him with Charlie Stramel, and maybe that's what it looks like. Hey, see how I said that name right too? It got that. Nailing it.
We're aware today. We have self-awareness today.
Final piece. Vincent Trocheck, who has not exactly been great for Team USA, but hasn't been bad. It's just he's kind of there. By the numbers, very low on the stats end. But Vincent Trocheck is still a desirable piece for the Minnesota Wild. Buy or sell?
Sell. I wasn't that interested before, and I'm still not interested now.
Lock it in. All right. We love it. That's going to do it, you guys, this week for our episode of Bardown Beauties. Kirsten will not be here next week, but I will have a very special guest host. We're going to miss her while she is in Florida doing whatever. Don't at me.
This is your advance warning, people. I'm not flaking. It's been known I will not be there.
We've got it covered. We have a surprise guest host coming in. You'll have to tune in next week to find out who that is. We'll probably be checking in periodically on Olympic stuff this week. All right, you're right. I'm calm. Maybe they'll go
I
to the
don't think
gold
you're
medal game.
calm. I
I'm
don't
not.
think you're calm at all.
I will be so devastated and just so bored of the Olympics that they get eliminated. Like, think about how the World Juniors, there was just a complete turnoff, right? Which there ended up being very good hockey after US was eliminated. But like, that's my fear is like, I look forward to this. I was been looking forward to this for so long, as much of us have. And I get to wear my USA stuff and I get so excited. And but the anxiety and the fear overwhelms me.
Breathe.
Okay.
Breathe.
I'm gonna
It's
go out
going
outside
to all
crying.
be okay.
Okay, you're right. All right, guys, that's gonna do it this week. We will catch you next week, and we'll talk to you later. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, blah blah blah. Score North. Love you. Bye.